everybody. We're gonna do a little ASMR as I unbox the black box. Are y'all as excited as I am? Inside, this is from an organization called ThriveSS here in Atlanta. I never realized how hard it is to whisper because I'm getting out of breath. But inside, there's condoms. An HIV test. I might even take the test. I'm going to take the test later. It's going to be great. An organization called ThriveSS based in Atlanta sent me their new merch called the Black Box. This is different from any subscription because it's black, it's free, and it's gay as hell. Join the Black Box subscription today and discover a world of pleasure and exploration. That was hard. This is the Black Box Explained, and the show starts right now. What up, though? I am Jay the Gentleman. That's at JAI, the Gentleman on IG and Facebook. Welcome to the Thursday Night Turn Up. This is a new episode of Dear Black Gay Men Alive. Now, I used to be one of the girls that was outside the club. They might have tapped you on your shoulder while you was just a little tipsy, trying to get you to get an HIV test because that's where the girls were. That is where we ensured that we were, and we knew that we needed to get tested. But luckily, we've come a long way. An Atlanta-based organization called ThriveSS has the Black Box, which ships lube, condoms, and HIV tests directly to your front door. To figure out who Thrive is and why the Black Box is so dope, please welcome Kenny and Kennedy to the show. Y'all know I'm going to stumble over that at least twice. Hey, everybody. Y'all are muted still.
Hi, Jay.
Hey, girl. How you doing?
Fabulous. How are you doing tonight?
You are definitely fabulous. You are absolutely fabulous. I think fabulous is one of the job requirements over there at Thrive, because melanin popping. I would say lip gloss, but I don't know if you wear lip gloss, Kenny, but it's okay. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm very happy to be here as a guest, and I'm really looking forward to the conversations that we're going to have.
Well, Kenny, you are a newbie to Dear Black Gay Men. Kennedy, you have been on the show a couple times in a couple different capacities. So any advice you could give him for what he has in store for him this evening?
It's a treat, just like with our members, Kenny. Jay is hilarious. His team is funny and hilarious, and you can just never really guess what's gonna come out of Jay mouth. So.
Why does everybody say that? I try to be
okay,
very
I'm the same way.
I try to be very predictable, but I mean, you can't really guess what's going to happen. So, Kenny, I guess you're just going to have to buckle up and enjoy the ride.
Let's go. Let's go.
I think I give a pretty good ride. Now, you can interpret ride however you'd like, but I think the ride is pretty dope from me, the one in the pink. But let's get into the episode. I love that. Okay, teammates. First question I have is, why the Black Box? Why is this so important for our culture? I know because testing is a lot of places in Black gay culture. Why send it directly to people? Kennedy, I'll direct that question at you.
The black box is so important because a lot of people aren't comfortable going into a lot of these agencies or testing centers because they feel they're going to be judged for who they have sex with, how they like to have sex. And a lot of those questions can sometimes make people feel stigmatized. And so when they come in, like, I just want to test, I just want to know my results. I don't need you asking how many people I had sex with last night. If I had sex with 10 or 20, that's my business and my body.
That's my
And so
business.
the black box gives people a way to be your authentic self, but to also make sure you get yourself tested and you know your health and your status because the numbers are not decreasing, they're increasing.
Well, so Kenny, I'll talk to you about the next piece is when the black box became a thing, when y'all started this initiative, what was the internal goal? Is it just so people know their status?
Yeah, and I think that just kind of just speaks into what Thrive has typically always been about. Like the main goal that we have is to end the epidemic, and that is very important to us. And you really can't end the epidemic without knowing what your status is. And so when we came up with this idea, one of our staff members, David Folks, is the mastermind behind the black box, but it was more so about like how can we make HIV self-testing cool? Like how can we make this something that is just not your run of the mill type thing? Just go get this or quick, just go do this and like try to get your test done. How can we make this something that seems secretive, seems exclusive, but at the same time as getting people the right information that they need to make sure that they have the care that or whatever type of care that they might need.
Okay. And now I hear that because you all are amazing stewards of ThriveSS and the vision that y'all have there. But I don't work for Thrive. And what I know is on Friday night, I'm not trying to think about HIV. I'm not trying to think about disease. I'm trying to get on these apps, go have me a cocktail or two, do whatever I do, and throw caution to the wind. That's the exciting part about the week. It's the freaking weekend. So how are we making HIV testing sexy when we know that HIV just ain't sexy? Kennedy?
By coming up with creative, innovative ways. My favorite story to tell is, hey, like you said, you done had your cocktail, you might have met somebody at the bar
I
that you
got
know
a
that,
cocktail right fucking now.
and
But
you, I know you do, Jay. I know you do.
I'll drink to
And
that.
so it's like,
Y'all are working. I am working, but
and so it's like, you meet somebody, but internally you like, I'm going to protect myself at the end of the day. And a lot of times having that conversation is not always the easiest. So you like, hey, guess what? I got this test. You do your test. I do my test. You getting a little, maybe you having libations, maybe you having a couple herbs, and then, a little kissing, touching, petting know each other, warming up. And while you're doing all that, the test that the clock is ticking. Boom. And by the time you're ready to get this thing going, get this party started, the timer has went off and you like, we good, let's go. Get it. So it's more so about people wanting to protect their own health. And we just give you a fun way to do that.
I love the titty shake right there. Because my titties is little, so but I love the fact that you got a little titty shake in there.
Hey, if you pay for the surgery, I will be on the other table. Like you said, you want how much? You
Only
got it.
surgery I need is on the bench press to get these titties where I need
Okay.
to get them. And they're
Okay.
tittying today. Y'all can't see under this
Okay.
pink sweatshirt, but they tittying today.
No, but I
Now,
like this pink sweatsuit.
well, thank you. I appreciate that. But I do really want to get back to like every time I have a HIV conversation on the show. Yesterday was National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. That is one of the main reasons why this conversation is so relevant, so timely. But every time I talk about HIV on the show, it, I'm conflicted because to me, I have worked in HIV. I have been the guy doing the testing and all the things, right? But also I like to have a whole lot of sex. And so I think of HIV testing as a chore. It is a
Mhm.
chore that I do so that I can not think about it all the rest of the time. And so is there a way, Kenny, if that HIV can become less of a chore in our culture?
Honestly, I think it's just gonna come from the way that we as a public decide to talk about it, because you're right, it's never fun when you're just like right in the moment there and like someone's like, wait, have you been tested, like have like are you like this and that. And so I really wish I knew how to or what to was going to be the thing that would get people to change their minds. But one thing I do know is that we're just becoming a well informed society right now, and we are being able to join on these like platforms like with you having these types of conversations. This type of thing was not available five to 10 years in the past. We've been making great strides in just the way that we have been able to present information to a large group of people. And I think it's just going to take a lot of dedicated work in that, in making sure that people know the truth. Like people can separate stigma and myth from what are actual facts. And once we as a society get more comfortable with finding being healthy cool, then I really think we will make a lot of strides there.
Being healthy, making being healthy cool. Okay. I receive that. I really do. I I'm just in my head as a non-clinician, the non
Mm.
health equity manager, coordinator, director. Like I ain't none of that shit, right? And
Mhm.
I'm just like, do I even want to think about HIV at the house? Do I want to think about HIV? Like the real talk. Okay, let me give you an example. Let me ground this because Kennedy, I'm coming to you with this one. Like I really was thinking, oh, I'll just take the HIV test right here on the show. And then I was like, well, no, because if I don't want y'all to see me have a meltdown on international internet, right? But you know, like, but I did just have a test like a month and a half ago to get my PrEP prescription. So it's internally there's still just a barrier between
It's scary.
HIV and like in my head I want to keep them separate. I want to keep my sex life sexy and my health life health. Kennedy, help me put those things together and keep my dick hard.
What is it that you feel like is the most that is holding you back and making you not want to put those things together for the betterment of your body?
Boochie cat.
So you just want to get to the sex. You don't want to think about nothing else.
No, I don't want to ever have to think about those two things at the same time. That's where I'm at.
Okay. And so then guess what? That is what you can do then. You take your test before you go out for the night and da da da. So you have your result and ask somebody why y'all at the bar trading drinks. Hey, when's the last time you been tested? Let's go ahead and get this out of the way because it's like, oh, I don't want to do that. Oh, I don't want to know. Then that might give you another conversation to be like, oh yeah, we got to use condoms then. You don't know when the last time, you don't like to get tested, you don't want to get tested. Let me look out and protect me first and foremost. So then that's a different conversation. And nowadays, with the way that treatment and advancement is, if somebody is undetectable, then there is no possible way that they can transmit the virus to you. And
Okay.
so undetectable, for those who don't know, undetectable is where a person viral load reaches less than 20. And that means that they cannot transmit their HIV to their sexual partner or partners.
Okay. Okay. What I heard, what I received, and that hit me hard, what you just said, Kennedy, is that the black box makes it to where I don't have to join those things together. I could take my HIV test at my leisure whenever it's appropriate for me and my sexual proclivities and be able to find out my status when I'm most comfortable. Is that
Correct, because
right?
you might, like you said, you get them drinks and you finna be like, oh, okay, Shotty fine. Like, Shotty, you coming with me tonight. And
No, he will
then
be
when
saying that I'm fine, but okay.
but I mean, you are fine too. So I can see both things though, you know.
Say it again
Cause
for
I
the
mean,
cheap seats.
but I mean, you don't want to be with somebody else fine too. So when somebody look, they be like, "Oh, they a fine ass couple." I mean,
Agreed, agreed.
okay,
But I think
because
Kenny
I
on
want you to
both
look at me and my man and be like, "Oh, they cute." Thank you, baby. That's all me. When you look at him, that's all me. Don't look
that
too hard
is
up there.
exactly what I would say about Kenny.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I don't even know. I don't even know if Kenny's gay or straight or if he's a man or a woman. Let me quit. I'm not asking. Let me quit. Go ahead.
So then when the night is over, you done had your fun and you like, all right, I done had fun. Now you got to get out. And if you feel like, we kind of did a lot of stuff last night. You got that HIV at home self testing kit right there for you. So even if you don't want to use it before, you might think about it the next week, like, you just got that inkling and your conscience is like, you might want to get tested soon. Guess what? You have that test right there on standby. Just because you order a test from us and you get a test, that doesn't mean you have to take it right now. You can keep that test because they have a long shelf life. Pay attention to expiration dates, okay? The same as on condoms. People don't think they have expiration dates. They do. So you could have that on the shelf ready under your bathroom cabinet for whenever you say that, you know what? I haven't been tested lately. For those who are not on PrEP, because if you are on PrEP, then you're going to be tested every 3 months. So for those who are not on PrEP, it's like that test right under your bathroom cabinet. Like, let me pull this out because I need to know I ain't been there soon. Set that timer, boom.
I can set it when I do my mask for my melanin.
Correct.
I'm here for it.
Your nighttime routine, brushing your teeth, and you're fine.
This comment says Kennedy is definitely from the South.
Columbus, Georgia.
706, baby. Kenny, you better
Definitely
tell
from the South,
them.
babe. Wait a minute. Columbus ain't no 706.
Columbus is 706.
Oh, you would know better than me.
Columbus, Rome, and Augusta are all 706.
I thought Columbus is going toward Alabama.
It is.
It is.
But Augusta is going toward South Carolina.
Wait, where are you from again, Jay?
Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
Right. So Columbus, Macon, and Augusta are on the fall line of Georgia. We're on a straight line. And because Rome is so close to Augusta, most people be like, oh, I'm from Augusta. When really, like, I'm right here from Little City, Rome. But we're on the fall line together, so you're correct.
Oh, well, my family from the 229, so from Dorter County, small town.
Baby, you said that wrong. You know that dirty county.
That is
That
not
dirty county.
It is.
That's what they taught me when I went there.
I got a grandma that live down there. You ain't gonna hate on no Dorter County now.
Baby, I am a ASU representative. I love my Golden Rams, okay?
I'm here for
But
it.
hey, that's what they taught me when I went there. Golden Rams, Sawega. Be like, baby, you in Sawega now? Oh, okay. So,
all right. Well, we definitely know that Kennedy from the South. We're gonna find out where Kenny is from when we come back. Let's get ready for a break. This was told me I could take the test at my leisure. I'm here for that. We're gonna come back and we're gonna have a deeper conversation about that. Okay, so I'm moving all my stuff. I ain't got time to do the thing. Right. Let's go to break. How you gonna stop the music, Royce? This episode of Dear Black Gay Men podcast is presented in part by ThriveSS, transforming HIV resentments into victories everlasting support services, or ThriveSS, began as a support initiative for Black same-gender loving men living with HIV in the Atlanta area. Now, ThriveSS has expanded its offerings to provide access to HIV testing, pre- and post-exposure prophylaxis, doxy-pep, monkeypox vaccinations, and other support services for people most vulnerable to HIV. For more information on any of their services, visit thrivess.org. The link is in the description. Oh, God, this show is going to be a mess. But welcome back to Dear Black Gay Men Live. If you're enjoying this content, subscribe to Dear Black Gay Men on YouTube. You can drop a like on this video, even if you're watching from your TV. The podcast is still our short, bullshit-free step out of our comfort zone, and it's new every Wednesday. You can stream on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. The link is in the description. I'm not living with HIV. Let me come on back. I'm not living with HIV. So to get a little context about what it's like to learn your status, I sat down with someone who's blindsided by this news. It just so happens that he is the newest member of Team Dear Black Gay Men, Royce P. Check out his story. Watch this. How long ago did you learn your status?
The end of 2017.
What made you go get tested?
So there was a guy, and we've been talking about hanging out, and of course, getting to the point of being physical.
Mm-hmm.
And he just happened to also work at a particular clinic in town,
Mm-hmm.
and they were giving out incentives to like start people, sign people up for PrEP. Of course, at that time, I didn't know my status.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's actually not correct. I did know my status. At least I thought I did, because I've gotten tested before, but just not on like a regular or as regular as I should have been.
Okay.
You know? So I was like, oh yeah, maybe I should get on PrEP to make sure I'm protecting myself. Because I mean, I knew about HIV and stuff like that, just kind of like taking it as it came, so to speak.
Okay.
So decided to sign up and go get, for the incentive for the PrEP and whatnot. But a part of, sign up for that, you have to get like a actual
HIV
test. And that's when the person who gave him the test was like, told me results. So
It wasn't the person you were dating with.
no.
So let me get this right. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that you were going up to this establishment, whatever organization this was,
Mm-hmm.
with the intention of getting on PrEP,
Yes.
which is the medical regimen to prevent HIV.
Yes.
And so you got a test to get on PrEP when you found out that you were living with HIV.
Yes.
You didn't think to tell me that shit in the pre-interview? See how they do? Okay, so what is that like? You just thought you was gonna skate through it like
routine
every other
situation.
test that you've taken
Mhm.
before.
Exactly. And to hear that, I can laugh about it now, but in that moment, I was very much like the girl who's like just stuck.
Miss Jackson. Miss Jackson.
Royce did not learn his status at ThriveSS, but it took him over a month of unresponded to calls and attempts to schedule an appointment before he could start the medical part of his journey toward undetectable. Watch this. What could like HIV Inc. be doing to ensure that people don't get the runaround or don't get lost to care?
I think a way something that could work is from the person that gives you the test and giving your results, like being with you up into a certain point.
Yeah.
And I think the exchange from like coming to our office space, meeting this person for the first time, and they talk, and because some people can be kind of cold with it, and they're just like, here, take this test, we're gonna do this and whatnot. Thankfully, my person wasn't like that. But when that happens, like you get the results, and they're like, okay, we're gonna pass you along to someone else. And I think right there, the passing part is where the disconnect or people get lost in care. Especially if you don't have anyone that's just like really into it for the care and the well-being of the person that just gotten this news or this bombshell dropped on them.
So we want to make this conversation, the whole conversation, available for everybody who wants to see it. If you like these kind of conversations, the talk that I had with Royce, drop the check mark emoji in the comments, and we'll figure out a way to make it available to everybody if you want to see how our conversation went. But let's get back to my guests, Kennedy and Kenny. So Royce mentioned some bombshells there. The first question that comes to my mind is, and Kenny, I'll direct this at you. If, for instance, someone is testing at home, they don't have the. I know that sometimes it's kind of fucked up. The people we have to deal with when we get tested, they might not be as sensitive, as aware as we would like. But the beauty of it is that they can connect us to services, presumably immediately. So what is the black box solution to that if I'm learning my status when I'm at home?
No, and I do think that is a great question. So inside the black box, we do have a QR code for those that would need some help to scan, and inside like that, they are able to request for help, request for linkage to a services from us, or if they just need some post test counseling. We do have staff on board that are here just to talk them through what they just went through, and just what some next steps are going to look like. And so when we started out with the black box, we didn't want this to be the end all of like what their HIV journey was going to look like. We didn't know that, like, as much as we would want this to be served as more of a preventative thing, like of course, with our goal of being to end the epidemic, we would like for no one to test positive. But for those that do, we did want to make sure that Thrive was available to them whenever they did need that. And so from there, like, once they would request like any type of help, they would get connected to one of our staff members, and then from there we would just like assess what would be the most pressing need for them, whether that be to get into some type of consistent medical care, or if they just need some type of social support. We would want to make sure that they get linked there. And then when we do make the decision to link them to some types of medical care, we always make sure that we link them to providers that we have had a relationship with. And the reason why we do that is we want to make sure that the people that we send our people to know how to talk to people. They know how to treat someone with respect. They know how to not do things like misgendering them, because when you're at such a vulnerable moment in time, you need as much support as you can get. And for us, that starts in the medical go room to like your personal like friend group and support group.
I think that deserves some applause, because, baby, let me tell you the story. I'm gonna tell y'all a story about my last HIV test before I went to my current primary care physician, right? So I went, I was uninsured at the time, and I had to go to the county health department to get an HIV test, a PrEP prescription, and whatever other services I need. I go in, and like Kennedy was saying, I filled out the papers, and they asked, all those invasive questions about how many times I done had sex, and did I have oral, anal, or vaginal. Vaginal, of course. That question was wasted on me because I'm gay as Christmas. But I'm doing all these things, right? Filling out the paper, because I think, draw a little blood, swab a couple spots, and I'm good to go, because I've been through the process. Like, I used to work in prevention, so I know what y'all are asking. I know how to answer these questions. I know how prevention works, and I'm just, trying to skate through this process so I can get this little prescription so I can go get my blue pills. The lady that comes into the office, she said, she looked at my consent form, and she says, "So you've never had vaginal sex before?" And I'm thinking, she just verifying the information. I say, "Okay, no, I haven't. Not since I was like 17, and I'm 33 at the time." So I'm like, "No, what's your point?" And so she's like, so her follow-up question was, "So you've never had normal sex? Who's your manager? Where, go get that person. Go get that person. And then I want to talk to their boss. Find them right now." I'm sitting in the office. I promise I had to go to work that day, but I took another hour just to wait for her boss's boss so I could be like, this is not the care that anybody in my position deserves.
Of course.
The idea that when you link someone to care, when you link someone to services, social or medical services, that you are taking that you Thrive are taking the care to ensure that that person has a good experience. I mean,
And so, like, I would say, like, we like the story that you just told is a
Sidebar,
story that
real quick, Kenny.
I'm sorry.
Every piece of sex I have is normal unless y'all ask for it not to be. Just want to that. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. Every sex I have is normal unless we
Exactly.
can understand it, and then
Exactly.
we can make sure that's abnormal as we need it to be. But go ahead, Kenny. I'll let you finish. My bad.
No, it's just that those are stories that we have heard a countless amount of times, and from just the foundation of this organization, it has strived to be different in the way that it treats its members. It's very important to us that our members feel seen throughout this process, because like Roy said, that pass off between, like, once you have that test and once they try to link someone else to care, that is when a lot of people get lost. And, like, we are doing our best to prevent that. We try to have, like, under their standings, and we leave our like promotional material with different spaces, just because, like, we want to make sure that we are ensuring that the community that we serve has access to the very best, because they do deserve the very best.
So thank you for that, Kenny. Now I'm going to shift gears a little bit because Kennedy, y'all are here on Dear Black Gay Men. We worldwide. Kevy Kev just said we live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube right now. So everybody will have access to this information. If I live in Dubuque, Montana, and need a black box, what happens? How are y'all handling that, Kennedy?
You would go to our website and fill out the form, and we're going to mail that box to you for free. Anywhere within inside the continental US, you can get that box for free. So it doesn't matter. I mail boxes to California often. I mail boxes to New York. I mail boxes to Massachusetts. And I was like, people in Massachusetts know about this? Like, yes, reach.
Yes,
That's
people in
called reach.
Massachusetts know about y'all, girl.
Yes.
Y'all worldwide
So
too.
you know what I'm saying? We popping over here. But yeah, so no, it does not matter where you are. And the good thing that I love about it is that people sometimes will reach out to us, not even about the black box, but they might already be living with HIV. And they're saying that, hey, I might have just moved to New York and I need help finding, connecting the care. And it's a very good network that it's like, okay, I'm gonna take your information down. I'm gonna do some research, and I'm gonna get back to you. And I do love that it's easy where I can call, look online, Google, call an agency, and say, "Hey, I have a member who recently relocated to your area, and I need to know what's the process and how I can get them into your agency and get them into care, so they can continue their medication treatment and care." And
I would say that two things really piqued my interest. The fact that y'all refer to those who work with you as members and not clients,
Mhm,
or like language matters. We know
mhm.
pronouns and all the things. Language matters.
Exactly.
So the idea that y'all have members, that's pretty dope. But in addition to that, let me ask you, Kennedy, I'm gonna follow up on what you just said. So are we trying to say that ThriveSS, that your organization, not just for the black box, but your organization, are y'all like a one-stop shop of sorts for the HIV, for the community around HIV?
Yes, if we don't have the answer to it, we will honestly tell you that, guess what? I don't know, but I'm gonna get back with you because I'm gonna go find this answer for you. Or I might know somebody who might know the answer and do it. So then, hey, guess what? That's something that's not within our wheelhouse, but I have, you know, Craig Jones over here at agency da da da, and Craig is going to take care of you. And we do warm handoffs because, like Roy said, you do lose a lot of people when you're saying that. Okay, you tested positive. Here go paperwork, and then you go see them on Monday. They open 10 to 9, or most businesses 8 to 5, and that's people working hours. And so it's like, well, I gotta be the word. They not open like on Saturdays. They're not open late, or it's like that agency is too far from where I live. So now we need to connect you with somewhere better, closer to where you live, and give you a face and a name to say that, okay, hey, Portia is gonna call you. Craig Jones is at the check-in counter. Craig, this person got a appointment with Portia, and then you already know you going in like, hey, I'm here to see Craig. Oh, you Craig? Hey, Craig, I'm such and such, and I heard you're gonna connect me to Portia, and it works because that gives people a sense of, okay, y'all care about me, and I know that people here care about me, and they're already expecting me, and it's like Kenny said, we do call our members because we're one big family here. And so once we do our intake, we tell you, welcome to the Thrive family. And I used to love to tell people, hey, if I send you somewhere and they mistreat you, misjudge you, they don't use your pronouns, they are rude, or you hear a side remark, please come back and tell me. Those are the conversations I like to go back
You
and
gonna cuss
have
them out, Kennedy?
because
You can cuss them
nah,
out.
I gotta keep my job. I gotta keep my job, okay?
But girl, you from Columbus.
I gotta keep my job done.
Everybody I know from Columbus will cuss somebody out a little bit. Now you might do it professional like,
Oh, okay.
but
When you put it that way.
I know from Columbus, it got a cuss. They got a cuss word right here in their sternum.
In their spirit, just waiting to come out.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. It don't take too much. Now, Kenny, let me come to you. So we've been talking a lot about people who learn their status, test positive, right? But for those of us who are not living with HIV, and I tell people that I'm one of those. What do you do for like PrEP or DoxyPep or PEP? Like how do you handle those type of services for people who are not living with HIV?
And so that is another thing that we did think of, and that we did want to include in the black box as well. So for those that did end up receiving the black box, they would have access to referrals to get a PEP and PrEP, because we want to not only take a post look at like, all right, if you did test positive, this is how we are going to do our best to help you. But a lot of times when HIV orgs get to a spot where they get someone that tests negative, that's kind of it for them. There's really not a lot of follow up there. And so one of the things that we did want to make sure is that we don't want to lose connection to those people. Yes, that we have a key population that we serve. We do serve men that are, or like people that are living with HIV, but we do not want to lose those that could be a part of that population as well, because even though you might not be HIV positive, almost everyone is HIV possible, and so we do not want to make sure that we lose those people. So we make sure that the social support groups that we have, the community of events that we have are open to the public, because one of the main things that we want to ensure is that the community is going to be there for their own. Like, we want to make sure that people know that not only is Thrive going to be there for you, but the friends that you may make here, the people that you run into, whether you're dealing with an instance where you are dealing with an emergency medical situation that might need some assistance. We have had members just come out of the blue and like willingly assist that, and that is because like we have made an effort to create this community that we hope to not only spread in the metro Atlanta area, but to as many places as we can possibly touch.
Now I will say, so when I interviewed Royce and Kennedy that day, but the door kept ringing. People kept coming to the door, be like, it's such and such in there. And then Kennedy would be like, in the most pleasant way possible. She'd be like, no, we closed today, friend. And they'd be like, but you here though. So what's up? And she'd be like, but we closed today. But why you here? You inside the building. So like clearly something's happening in there. So obviously, as you're saying, Kenny, there is a level of community, a level of family, because the only place that people just pop up unannounced
Exactly like that.
is
That's family.
your crazy cousin, your
Exactly.
favorite auntie. They the ones that pop up and they got a pound cake. And
I'm gonna open the doors of the house then.
that is exactly the vibe that I was experiencing that day at Thrive when we were filming. But I do want to ask one more question to you, Kennedy. So we have this family. Thrive has members, leans on members and versus clients. The goal is to, be an advocate, an asset for our culture, primarily men, same gender loving men who are living with HIV or HIV possible, as Kenny was saying. But I will say now, let me, before I say this and put my foot in my mouth, and I don't want to get canceled, so I'm gonna say that I acknowledge that not living with HIV is a level of privilege in our culture. That there is a privilege associated with not living with HIV that I live inside because that is not my zero status, and I don't have to deal with all the issues that come up with living with HIV. I do get that. But I will say, in our culture, there doesn't seem to be a lot of opportunities for seronegative and seropositive people to do something together. Like there's support groups for people living with HIV, and then there's, everything else. And I'm always curious, how do I activate? How do I get involved? How do I, someone not living with HIV, get into where I can be an advocate, an asset, a ally, or just a cute cousin to people living with HIV? Like, how does that happen, Kennedy?
You started it correctly. You asked the question. And as me, a person, a woman living with HIV, it's the same thing when I publicly came out and said that, hey, I'm a Black woman living with HIV. College friends, colleagues, how can I help you? How can I assist you? And it's to say that, hey, guess what? We have these events going on. We have a block party every year for National HIV Testing Day, which is observed June 27th annually. And I literally have my family that come out and help bake treats the first year to give away free cookies, cupcakes, and things, cake, like
Homemade
asking
cookies,
the
cupcakes, and
question.
things.
Yes, we was up all night baking. Okay, all night baking.
I know
Yes,
where I'll be June 27th, but okay.
but yeah, so it's literally asking the question to say, how can I help? And guess what I tell people? We're open Monday through Friday, 10 to 6. Okay. We observe all federal holidays. So if your bank is closed, Thrive is closed. Okay. But literally, it really is to say that I want to be a part. How can I help? We have plenty of trainings and things for you to help. You ask, how can I be a cousin to learn? We have advocacy training. A lot of people don't know about a lot of the laws that are hitting the books for people living with. I didn't even know that people living with HIV, if someone presses charges on them, and it goes to court and they go to jail, you have to register as a sex offender. I didn't know that before I was a person that got into the HIV community.
Mm-hmm.
But doing the work or just asking the question is what I tell people. Ask a question. Majority of people living with HIV, we've been living this life and we live it every day. We do not mind educating you to help you out. So whatever you ask, and I'm gonna tell you how you can get in. You can come to Thrive. We have plenty of events. As Kenny stated, majority of our events are status negative. It does not matter if you're living with, not living with. We want to help the people because we do realize that there's a disconnect for those who aren't living with. And a lot of times you'll hear me say, so I gotta get AIDS for y'all to help me. No, you do not
Well,
have
no,
to get
that's
HIV.
exactly what I did not want to say because I don't want to make it seem as if it.
No, but I mean that is what we have heard.
With a statement like that. I definitely don't want it to feel like that.
No, but that is things that we hear sometimes. And so that's why it's like, no, but we can help you. So whether that is, guess what? We give our free condoms and lube. So if you need free condoms and lube, we might can't help you with housing. We can help you with food. Okay. We can help you with food outside of the black box. You need somewhere to go get tested if you don't have insurance. We can help you with all of the other STIs. You know, we can send you to places where, guess what, they don't cost and they will not judge you or give you, because I've had my run-ins with the health department too. So I do understand you, Jay. And
Sometimes
like
I
you
want to
said,
be like,
that
fuck
Columbus
them,
part.
but they offer a necessary service. But sometimes I
Um,
want to be like, fuck them. But again,
yeah,
that's
the
because
attitude.
I don't work in the bubble and ain't nobody firing me. Royce can't fire me.
But so no, just literally really asking the question to see where you can help. If you know of a HIV agency or organization in your area, really go and ask them if you want to learn, educate, like, hey, we have trainings all the time. You want to come and be a part of this training. These are the dates that our training is going to be. These are the activities that we have coming up. Whether if you want to run the registration booth, thank you for running the registration booth. Kennedy is greatly appreciative if you want to sit at the front table to help me out, so I could go run the 50,000 other things that need running. But
Mhm.
just really just asking how you can help. The door is always open. We've never turned anyone away.
Okay. Okay. I think that's a perfect place to take a break. Let's get ready to go for break. Thank you for that, Kennedy. I appreciate the perspective. Thank you, Kennedy and Kenny. We're gonna come back right back with both of them. We certainly hope that everybody is enjoying the conversation so far. After the break, we're gonna dive deeper. The questions that are at the top of everybody's mind. This is a show that we are calling The Black Box Explained. We will be right back. ThriveSS firmly believes that the earlier one knows their status, the quicker they can engage in prevention, treatment, and care. If you or someone you love wants to learn their status or need support on their HIV journey, or you'd like to offer social support in your community, visit ThriveSS.org. The link is in the description. What up, though? The conversations stay lit on Dear Black Gay Men podcast. Hookup, entanglement, situation, relationship, everything from dushing to dating. A top verb, but I am not a top noun. I am a guru at first dates. It's new every Wednesday. Subscribe now. Hey, teammates. Welcome back to Dear Black Gay Men podcast. The easiest way to support Dear Black Gay Men is to subscribe on YouTube and turn on the notifications so you never miss a post, a show, or a live show. And if you really love us, you can send a thanks of any monetary value. Your support allows us to keep this kind of content coming every single week. On YouTube, under this live or any of our content, you can click Send Thanks, select a monetary value, and click Buy and Send. Your one-time gift goes straight to the channel and helps us keep the conversation going. You can also join the channel. The link is in the description. As a monthly subscriber, you can join the after party, get exclusive content, early access to merch, events, and so much more. We just wrapped our live show here in Atlanta. If you missed it, you missed the time. I wish I could have taken everybody, but we were standing room only at the venue. We'll talk about that next week on the show. But I recommend that y'all get tapped into Dear Black Gay Men, because party is going up from here. We ain't looking back for nothing. We partying like it's 1999, even though it's clearly 2024. Let's get back into the show. We've been chatting about the black box with ThriveSS, and the big question that I get whenever something new rolls out for the girls is, how can we trust it? So, Kenny, I want to direct this question for you. Why should people who do not already know who Thrive is trust Thrive with this very, very sensitive component of their life?
I do think that is a great question, because medical mistrust in the Black community is very, very much a real thing, because Black people have consistently been taken advantage of by the system. They have consistently been misdiagnosed. I was actually reading a study the other day that said 60% of black people have some level of mistrust with their medical care provider, and that is a startling number. And I think the reason why Thrive is someone that is well positioned and like someone that people should be able to trust is because we are the community that we serve. Like, we are doing these things. We are making these strides because like this is who we are as an organization. A large majority of our staff are Black SGO men that are living with, and so like this whole organization was birthed from this idea that there is no better advocate for Black SGO men than Black SGO men. And so the way that we have gone about setting up our businesses, setting up our privacy thing has all been in service to our members. And we have done the research. We have seen that our community is most likely going to be the one that is going to be discriminated against at the doctor's office. And so we want to make sure that no one that we come in contact with has to go through that same thing. Like, no one that we do our best to serve has to be lost to care just because they heard a snide remark from their doctor. And so the reason why Thrive is like someone that you should be able to trust with this is because like this is who this organization is. The reason why we call our members family like that is because we are the community that we live in, and we would do anything to fight for it. We would do anything to protect it, and that is how we go about our daily business, is fighting for the rights of the people that we serve, whether they come through our doors or not.
So, this is what I heard. You remember a long time ago, Platinum Fubu, and they had Fat Albert on the
Yes,
on
yeah,
the
I sure do. I sure do.
I totally heard For Us By Us, but
Exactly.
also, I mean, you started out very educated. I got a whole host of sound effects, and anytime somebody gets a little too smart on the show, I say, "Since you got your degree and you know every fucking thing." You definitely got the cool points for being smart, and you made me feel like you were flirting with me a little bit because I'm a sapiosexual, so there's that. Again, if you're straight, I hope I didn't offend you. If you're not straight, I'll give you my number after the show. But the underpinnings of that, Kenny, are that Thrive is for Black SGL men by Black SGL men and allies.
Mm-hmm.
But the gotcha is, in my Black gay life, the people that I don't trust look and walk and talk just like me. They are me. Like, I've never had somebody spread a rumor about me that wasn't Black, that wasn't gay, that wasn't one of the girls, right? And so the question that I have for you, I'm gonna switch to you, Kennedy, is how I get Thrive is trustworthy, but in our culture, because you kind of, Kennedy, you had kind of have this outsider looking in concept because you are a cisgendered female living with HIV, but cis female still. And you look at the girls and see all the catty bullshit we deal with. So how does Thrive stay above the fray?
Whether that's doing an intervention to have a conversation with our members to say, okay, what's the real problem and what's really going on, to get to the deep root of the issue, because I am a big advocate for therapy. And a lot of times is that, okay, this seems like a deeper conversation, which is why we do have peer support service to say that, okay, what's really bothering you today and what's really going on? Because you're not normally like this. So a lot of the times I can pull a member to the side and be like, okay, what's really wrong? Because you seem like you on 1,000 today, and it's not your normal personality. And it might be Miss Kennedy. They been on my nerves at work, and okay. So this is what's really wrong. And having a conversation and listening is what people don't really understand. Actually listening to others, because a lot of times people will be like, thank you for listening to me. That's what I just needed somebody to hear me. And I will listen. I will let you sit on the phone for an hour and you can cuss, scream, yell, cry, but you just know that you have somebody there as that support. And so a lot of times it's really like, no, we got to have a side conversation. What's really wrong? What's going on? Because we can get to the root of this. And if it gets too bad, though, we do have rules and regulations in place to say that, okay, now we have to further escalate this, and we're gonna have to have a come to Jesus meeting, and we're gonna have to bring it all in and bring all hands on deck to say that, okay, you went outside of our rules and regulations, which every member signs when we first bring you in. So you have an agreement to say that this is how Thrive will treat you, this is how Thrive expect you to treat us, and the information that you learn. So whether you're in peer support and if somebody discloses something, that doesn't mean you can go blast it on Facebook or go home and tell the whole neighborhood. And so when we get wind of like, okay, you have violated the rules and regulations, then we do have processes in places to handle that.
So I received that. Let me tell you the interesting thing in my experience is when I get tested or in services, the people that, not necessarily the people I prefer, but the people that I've built the closest connection to, my PCP, my primary care physician, or they usually aren't Black gay men. Like I have an Indian lady that's my primary care physician, and I tell her all the craziest things, and she just be sitting there like, okay, like what's we gonna do about this? So I appreciate the one thing I appreciate is it's obvious that because you are a integral part of Thrive Kennedy, it is obvious that at least we acknowledge that the glue that holds us together is not the fact that we are men who love men, right? That there is some common thread in this tapestry of culture that supersedes sexuality or preference. Now that I said the smart shit, let me tell you this. There is a comment. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it says the chat humbly asked that Kenny drop his Instagram in the chat because he fine as fuck. I won't ask.
Unfortunately, I am not on Instagram right now, so I do apologize for that.
You not on Instagram? Okay.
I'm taking a little social media break, so I'm focusing on my mental. So I do apologize, but I do appreciate the.
Just know when you back on social media, Dear Black Gay Men is open and available. All we got is space and opportunity. That's all we got here. Now, Kennedy, again, I'm not all the way gay, so your titties look great. But but it is Dear Black Gay Men for a reason.
It's okay. I'll tell my mama you said thank you because I got them from my mama.
I appreciate both of you so much. I will say, Royce, I hope you have the link up there. The black box is available now. You can get it at ThriveSS.org, or you can visit the link that is on the screen. We will be right back.
Did you know that there are more than 38.4 million people living with HIV globally? Or that 13% of people who have HIV in the US don't know it? Did you know that there are HIV vaccine clinical trials throughout the US to find a vaccine that can stop HIV? Or that they need volunteers? Learn more about how you can help at helpendhiv.org.
So I can't bring it back on, but because they both muted. But Kenny, if you can hear me from backstage, the chat said, "What about Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat?" Like they want to know how to get in touch. As a matter of fact, they want to know how to get in touch with you, Kenny.
Social media does include all of that. I'm not on TikTok or Snapchat. I have Facebook for work, but other than that, I do not update it. So I do apologize for that.
Okay, DBGM fam, I promise. When the second that he is back on socials, I will send up a smoke signal. The second he's back on socials, I'll send up I mean, We, as gay as we are, we could probably do a deep dive and find the handle.
Listen.
We could probably do a deep. We'll find the handle, but he ain't actively using it right now, is what he's saying. So we're here for it. Unless Kennedy wants to tell us what his Instagram is, but I mean, I'm sure that they have a camaraderie. I'll do some digging for you, DBGM fam. We'll find it later. Thank you.
I don't know. Money talk though. Sorry,
Hey, relax.
That's right up there with $20 is $20, Kennedy.
Relax.
$20.
Inflation, $20 don't do nothing. It's inflation time.
Girl, okay. All right, teammates. Thank you so much. I want to thank my guests, Kennedy and Kenny and ThriveSS, for supporting this show. The link to the Black Box is in the description. You connect with ThriveSS at thrivess.org. This show is amazing. Uh-oh. My bad, teammates. Okay, a little more than 10 years ago, I got on PrEP. At the time, there wasn't anyone in my area to prescribe PrEP, so I drove 3.5 hours to Houston and back to get my labs done. And then 2 weeks later, I had to drive 3.5 hours to Houston and back to get my results and my prescription. I did it because I was dating someone who was living with HIV at the time, and he wanted me to be as in command of my HIV negative status as he was of his undetectable status. From having to drive to the other side of the state to having services delivered to my doorstep, we've come such a long way. HIV is an ever-present part of our culture, whether we want it to be or not. Luckily, organizations like ThriveSS are making pleasure-centered support just as accessible. So, dear Black gay men, aren't you glad you don't have to drive to Houston? That was our show. I am Jay the Gentleman. That's at JAI the Gentleman on IG and Facebook. If this episode made you feel a little more dope, be sure to subscribe to YouTube. Like the video and share it with someone who needs a dopeness reminder. Dear Black Gay Men podcast is new every Wednesday. You can stream it on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And Dear Black Gay Men Live is new every Thursday. So follow at Dear Black Gay Men on socials so you never miss a thing. I am Jay the Gentleman. This has been Dear Black Gay Men Live, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.